Hey there, what's happening? This is our last Graduates Mastermind, only for a while. We will be going on hiatus because next week we start our new boot camp with Erica and Alex and the Newbie University crowd. So there'll be a beginners one on one day, and then Wednesday will be the advanced for all the graduates. So we're going to be tied up with that. So for the next 10 weeks, we'll be bye-bye.
We'll be on a bye.
We'll be on the bye, and we'll come back even stronger the next time around.
That's right.
So hopefully everybody's enjoying this live or on the replay, so we want to say hi to everybody. And Robert Vaughn just joined the video.
All right.
All right. Hello,
Good morning,
Robert.
everyone.
Robert.
You have
Good morning.
toothpicks in your eyeballs, Robert?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I you up late last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
We're a lively bunch this morning. We're all like slit-eyed and yes, welcome to the webinar or welcome to the hangout.
Yeah. Well, for everybody out there, let's introduce ourselves so everybody knows who we are. I'll start. I'm Ray Chaffardini, Rhino Marketing Concepts, and RhinoMarketingConcepts.com. Got that one in pretty good. All right, Linda.
Linda Hobson with CreateYourBestLifeEver.com and the Princess Mafia Show, as well as Success Roadshow on Blab.im.
Right. And Nancy.
Hi, I'm Nancy Lohr at MindsetMama.com.
And last but not least, Sleepy Face over there, Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert Vaughn with RobertVaughnLive.com. Glad to be here with everybody this morning.
Yeah.
All right. And don't forget, what's it, kill22.com?
22kill.com, yeah. Go there and check out the push-up challenge that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going, huh?
Oh yeah, it will go until we hit 22 million.
Okay. Well, I know you're doing your part, so that's good. Well, since this is going to be the end for the time being, as we're going on hiatus, I figured today we can go back and look at where we were when we started the first boot camp, where we're at now, and where we want to go from here. So I think, all of us, have a game plan since we are here this morning. We were active in what we're doing. We're putting in the hours, as we know, with everybody being up late last night. And, we're going to be moving forward. So I'm going to throw it out to the panel first. Who wants to go first and jump in and tell us where we were before, what we did, and where we're going? Don't all jump in at once.
I'll start.
That figures.
I know. Shut up. Hush it. I'm a completely different person than when I started the original boot camp. Just because I've grown so much, I believe in myself so much more. Not that there are not times where self-doubt kicks in, but you'll learn the signs of it kicking in, and kind of like when you're catching a cold and you kind of realize you're starting to maybe get a little something, and you start downing orange juice and vitamin C and stuff like that. The same thing with mindset. I know when it's starting to creep in, and I read a little bit more, or I watch a motivational video and just kind of nip it in the bud. And kind of where we lost Nancy.
Okay.
Um, it just like went black for me, so I wasn't sure what was going on. And where I'm going is definitely, my eyes are on gold by the end of December. Not only because, if you do that, then you earn the trip to the next event, but that means $10,000 a month in income, which would, change everything. And for those of you who are watching, I think most of us know that even $3,000 a month would change everybody's life, but you can't think small anymore. And that's one of the big things I got from the event. Quit playing small. Everybody, if they put the work in, can get to 10 grand a month. And then once you do that, then you can go further than that. So that's kind of like my first step. How I'm going to get there, I'm still kind of figuring that out. I really love Instagram, so I'm kind of like reevaluating my accounts and all that. I really love doing the interviews and the talk shows. And, as most of you know, we had Anna Zubarev on yesterday, and she liked it so much, she was saying, you should do one of these every day. And I was like, well, how am I going to get everything done? But you do it, And, we do do an hour show on Success Roads, and we do an hour show for Princess Mafia.
Well,
but
you're doing an hour. I know most of them run over.
Yeah, we do run over sometimes, depending on who's talking and all that. I didn't want the time with Anna to run out because I know she's just, full of golden nuggets, especially with social media.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a seven-figure earner, so I didn't really want the time to end. But we can make some of them half-hour shows and maybe do special editions that are hour-long or something. Not that I want to add a whole bunch, but Periscope is linked into Blab because they're both kind of Twitter-driven platforms. So I may get on Periscope even if it's just to promote those two talk shows. And both of them are now getting steam. Nancy and Zen and I were so excited the last show we did. So much engagement. So many people are coming to us and say, I love it. I want to be on. So it's time to start getting a little bit more people with a little bit more authority on there where we can interview them and have people come on and ask questions and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. And of course, Facebook, because I just love Facebook and I'm on there every day, I'm going to be doing some Facebook marketing, even if it's just reaching out through chat, or I shouldn't say even just, but, through Facebook chat and just engagement on my wall and stuff like that. So that's where I was, and that's where I'm going.
All right. We've come a long way, baby.
Yes, we have.
Oh. All right, Nance, what about you before your internet goes out again?
Oh, I know. I'm not in a great spot for internet, but it's the story of my life. But that's the thing. You keep going. You just keep pushing. It's you can't let these things limit you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always going to be things that are going to limit you, and if you want to find an excuse, you've got it. I mean, there's several that are just right at your fingertips. The difference between now and 3 months ago, I feel like I haven't made great strides as far as my business is concerned, but I have made great strides as far as personally, and that's a big part of the business.
That's huge.
It's a huge part of the business as far as where you want to go, who you are, my why, because I have had some tragic events happen to me, and it's just brought a lot of clarity into my life, and it's made me stronger, and I feel when these things that I used to let get me down, when they arise, when I feel them arising, I just knock it right down. It's like, this is nothing now, because I've got that why, I've got that purpose for for being here, for doing what I am doing, and I am getting more done as a result of that. And everything becomes clearer when you have that why in place. Everything. It's not just your purpose, but it's almost like, okay, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to take these steps in order to market my business, in order to get to the next level, get to the next step. And the steps are clearer, and I don't know if it's just a matter of, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I mean, it probably is, it's probably a lot of things, but the bottom line is, just because you're not successful in your business and you don't see numbers, solid numbers, doesn't mean that you're not progressing, because a lot of this business is self-improvement. It's all about that. It's about those roots. I forget. I think I was on a Think and Grow Rich call the other day, and somebody was talking about, was it the bamboo tree?
Yeah, bamboo tree.
About how the roots, how it takes so many years. You don't see it.
Yeah,
emerge.
it's like years and years to grow the roots, and then all of a sudden, in like a week, the tree will grow like many feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, if that is not a metaphor for your life, I don't know what is. So, and I guess my whole thing is, don't get discouraged. I mean, this is not a short haul. We're in this for the long haul, and that foundation. If that foundation isn't built before, it's got to get built somewhere down the line. So, I'm just very excited the way the company has progressed. How things, I feel a lot better about how things are today than it was 3 months ago. And it just goes to show that there is so much change that can happen in 3 months. It is unbelievable.
Has anybody, and I just want to interject because it's a perfect time, has anybody looked at your, on the Empower Network front page, the home page, down at the bottom, it'll show you what your projected income was if you were at a certain level. So it shows you going from boss up to diamond, and it will give you what your projected income was depending on your downline, with Uniline in place.
Yeah.
It is an I was trying to go to sleep because we get up at dark.30 to get up for the hangout. And Eli, who is he's my sponsor's sponsor. So in our lineage, he's the one I reach out to as far as our team, my true team. Anyway, he said, "Have you looked at that?" He texted me and he said, "Have you looked at that?" And I said, "No." And I was in bed. He said, "Go look at it." I'm like, "Oh, you can make me get out of bed." So I went and looked at it, and if I was at platinum, which is the right before diamond, the Uniline would push me into diamond, and I would have made $31,000 last month. And it just it makes it real. It's like,
that
okay,
isn't a motivator, I don't know what is.
right. And that's what he said. He was like, he said, "I have to go diamond now." And I'm like, yeah. And but you look at those numbers and you're like, yeah. And really, with just even a small team of your own and having that Uniline, your upline put people under you, even the beginning it's just gonna progress so much. You're gonna be boss, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be gold and silver. I mean, it's just gonna snowball. It's just you're just gonna go from one end to the other very quickly.
Yeah. I have a question about that, and maybe somebody can answer that. When you go boss and you go to each level, so you've got to have, I know that there was a discussion with Erica last night about, is it 5 products or 5 people?
It's 5 people. It's 5 people. But the reason they say products is because before you only went boss if you sold 5 premium, Kalatu premium.
Okay.
When they mean products, they mean the basic product, the blogging platform. So it can be anything from $1 trial up to Kalatu premium in the Kalatu, because that's our basic, that's our core product.
Right.
So, but the reason they say products is because they're counting any of that. If you get 5 $1 sales, you're boss.
Right.
Obviously, you want to get to like a $7 or a $17 trial if they're not going to just go in right away.
Right.
But yeah, there was a big discussion at the event, and I asked John Oakes about it, and he said, yeah, that is confusing, but products. It just means within the Kalatu, because since that's our core product.
Okay. And to add on that, what if you have 5 sales, makes you boss. Do you have to keep those 5 people going? I mean, what if 4 of them drop out? Are you not boss anymore?
No, you're boss once you hit boss. If they all quit by the end of the month and you hit boss next month by 5 new people, you're still boss.
Okay.
You only have to hit it one time.
Okay.
Obviously, your goal is to hit it many times and to keep as many people in. But once you hit boss, you're boss for the month. Same thing with gold. Well, I mean, or same thing with the metal levels. But that's income driven. So I mean, that I don't think that would drop for any reason unless you had a bunch of refunds or something.
Because there's the one-time products, the sale of one-time products, and the sale of subscription products.
Right.
So that tied into that as well.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't tie into boss or boss maker.
Okay.
But that ties into your income, and each product has its own uniline. So there's Kalatu, and then there's Inner Circle, and down the line.
Right.
Has its own uniline.
It's a little confusing, but it really isn't once you really start thinking about each product having its own line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to get a clarification because according to the chart, it says 5 sales, direct sales. It doesn't say about that they have to be in any category.
I'm only repeating what John Oakes told me. I figured he knew what the deal was, but maybe we need to contact someone in EN and clarify that. I'm sure there's confusion out there.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about that at the event when we were, I would say coffee clutching, but it was more like beer and wine and drink clutching.
You were beer clutching.
In the bar, which was very fun. But after they talked about Uniline, we had a big discussion about that in our gathering, and that's the next morning is when I asked John Oakes, and that's why he said the reason they say products means just the Kalatu. But obviously everybody's confused about it, so we probably need to figure that out. And really, boss, the reason I think it's members or people is because boss is building a team. The metal things, the gold, the bronze, and the gold and the silver and all that is money driven, is income driven, which would be product sales mostly. Boss and boss maker are building your team. So that's why I'm thinking it's just Kalatu products, because that's how that's the first step to building your team. But buying a one-time product doesn't make you a team member.
Yeah.
So
another thing too, if you haven't downloaded the EN to Go worksheet yet, you better do it because that has the exact formula on how to get to gold in 60 days. It has exactly what you need to do day by day, all the way up to the end, so that you do qualify as a gold. So.
And it's got like a checklist, doesn't it? I just looked at the little snaky thing.
Yeah, it's got a
checklist
built in between it.
Okay.
On what you need to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I need to look at that. I probably should print that out because that's better for me to kind of keep my eyes on it.
I was using that as a post the other day when I was posting all over the place. So So
Did you get some engagement on it? I bet that would.
I don't recall.
Uh,
I got so much stuff out there now that I got to get back to. It's just crazy.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's what you want, right?
yep.
People to get back to.
Yeah. All right, Robert. What about you?
Well, I've kind of gotten out of the mood to talk about it now, but
Sorry.
Calling you on the carpet there, Robert.
oh man, no, you know, first off, I mean, I am really not. I'm not the kind of person really to talk about myself a lot, nor am I. In the past, I have not been an emotional person. Okay, so for me, like Nancy said, personal growth has probably been the biggest thing for me throughout the boot camps, and I have to take my hat off and thank Erica and Alex for the work they've done, of course. And the way Erica is at just giving you that little soft nudge and prodding and pulling more information out of you, she's super at that. So and that has really helped me to, I guess, embrace that side of me, because growing up, my mother sometimes was emotional, but my father, he never ever showed any emotion other than anger itself. So so for a long time, I always wondered why, I guess, why my heart was so, I guess, so closed off and so hard. So like I say, this has been really a personal growth experience for me, and the clarity that I've come to know from being through all of this experience, of knowing, that my passion is truly to help other veterans. One of the things that I really wrestled with for a long time was not just that, that I wasn't on the same level as, say, someone who had been in combat, versus someone like myself who had just been in a support role away from the action, as they say. But also, when it comes to the people who I really want to help, which are veterans who, have experienced some type of trauma, or now have some type of disability because of what they went through. And so I guess what I'm saying is, I was struggling for a long time with what really gives me the right to approach these guys and use this opportunity to, as a way of helping them better their lives. So I'm past that now, and I know that what we have here is exactly what some of those folks need, and it will be the thing that gives them hope and prevents them from ending up on 22kill.com. If that
That's
makes
right.
sense to all of you.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful. Very grateful.
Yeah.
I
can see where that would really, I mean, for just looking at it as an outsider, it seems like a lot of those men and women come home, and especially if they've gone through trauma or they've had some injuries, etc., and they're disabled, they struggle because their purpose is gone. Their purpose was the military. Their purpose was defending this country. Their purpose was, leading other soldiers. And they come home, and not only are they struggling with their mental or physical issues because of what they, went through, but they also have that, what do I do now? Who am I?
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and there's so much that they can do through our platform. Obviously, they can reach out to other veterans or whatever they're passionate about, but then to create a lifestyle that just being on disability is not going to create for them. I mean, it's huge how it would help veterans, I think.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think Robert, you're totally on a great track
Hmm.
to help a large portion of not only American veterans, but around the world. I'm sure there's issues everywhere. Obviously, I'm sure you want to focus on American veterans, but I can see it just spreading, and even if it's just to get out the word. Um, so you're on that right path. I can just see you aligning with it, and I can see it for you. And
Well,
it's
one of the, it's just like Erica pointed out to us. Most of us are we're looking for some form of approval on things, right?
Mhm.
mhm,
And for me, the struggle there that I was having um, was that I had this feeling inside that maybe other veterans or just anybody, they would think that more or less I was trying to take advantage of these guys and gals. You know what I mean?
mhm, mhm,
And
Hmm.
so that for a long time that really held me back. But like I said, now I'm totally clear on it, and that's no longer an issue for me.
Hmm.
And so going forward, I expect to hit gold quite rapidly. So
mhm. Yeah,
it's just a matter of having all the pieces of the puzzle in place
Mhm.
and reaching out and really making connections with the right people there. So
Hmm.
yep.
Yep. Good.
Amen, brother.
It's interesting how once you get involved in this and all the personal growth that we all experience, and how your limitations really are just inside your head. And I mean, it just really makes it so apparent, once you get through what it is you need to get through.
Mhm.
And
Mhm,
and there's always a few outside sources, I mean, that you just can't control for things here and there, but not for the long term, not for the long haul. I mean, just I'm just blown away at just what we have, what it offers to us on so many levels. I mean, as far as health and wealth and
mhm,
family and spirituality. Um,
mhm.
it's just really, it's mind blowing.
Mhm.
You know.
Right. Yeah, because it's not only what the purpose of the company is. I can't say purpose, but what do I want to say? The
Mission or
Yeah,
the.
the mission or the feeling that you get being part of this company is that,
Hmm.
yeah, we want you to be healthy, because that's just part of being around for a while. And
Hmm.
then there's that sense of family that all of us has felt. And but then, if you want to find out more, if you come into this, like, I've really opened up my spirituality, and like started looking at it more because of this company.
Hmm.
And if I want to find out more about it, yes, there's Google, but I can reach out to somebody who that's their purpose of Empower Network is they want to teach about, spirituality and the chakras and, and all of that. And if I want to learn about certain subjects on health, there are people that are in this company that's what they speak about is health. So not only is it company, but you open it up to the community, and there's this wealth of information on however you want to improve yourself. And it's so funny when sometimes I feel like we're in a bubble because we just love, the people that are really in it, and it's in our hearts, it's in our, everything. Like, you get all in, but you need to get it all in you too. Those people. And then you come across somebody who says it's a scam. I have to hold myself back because it's not that I want to convince them. I want to defend what I love.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of times,
but it doesn't serve a purpose. So
I think it's finding out what their definition of a scam is. Sometimes they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
And they're just, the word scam, they throw that word out there really loosely. And it's, when people say that to me, I say, well, what do you mean by scam? What's your definition of that? And a lot of times they just stumble over it. It's just like, well, they don't really know.
One way to get around that, Nance, is an old sales trick, and just say compared to what.
Yeah, compared to what exactly.
And they got to come up with something. It's not an attack on them. It's getting an explanation and putting them in their place at the same time.
Well, and it helps them. It helps them get clear on what's going on in their head, what they think about something. They might have to change their mind.
Yeah.
At one of the events, I can't remember what city it was in, Laura Parrish did like this in the hotel lobby where there's like sitting areas. She had this little like coaching session with a bunch of us, and she was saying, one of the things she was teaching is have something, maybe not pre-written, but an idea of what you're going to say when certain things come up, because it's always going to be the same thing.
Yes.
It's going to be about 5 things that they're going to say. So kind of have an idea of how you're going to respond so you're not stumbling over yourself. And so one of the things was, this is a scam. And somebody said, well, look at Walmart, that's a scam, and look at this. And she was like, you're not really going to get anywhere by just saying all these other things are scams. But, asking them their definition of scam or what they think, why they think this is a scam, but then turn around and say, I can't tell you that, I can't make you understand that this is a scam or not a scam, but what I can do is I can tell you I'm in it, and I'm achieving things with it. I'm on the inside. You're calling it a scam from the outside. I'm on the inside, and my personal experience is that I have never been scammed. I've never been taken advantage of. They have true products that are, that obviously cost money, just like if you're buying vitamins from this company or that company, etc. And using it as hey, good morning.
I have something really crazy happen.
Uh-oh. What's crazy?
I don't know, maybe I'm on twice. Is it muted?
No, you're on. You're good.
No, you're on. And I'm not hearing echo, so I don't think you're on twice.
No, I'm seeing you once.
Better late than never.
No one here has double vision.
Right. Because it's so early. We see everything double. But anyway, just to finish my thought is just use your personal experience. Like, I can't tell you what other people are experiencing, and I can't tell you what you're going to think, but this is my experience with this. And then just drop it. Because like I said earlier, arguing about it and defending it to the death, it serves no one. You know,
right.
if they're steadfast in the thought that this is a scam, you're not going to convince them, and you
That's
don't want
right.
to convince them. Why would you
No.
want them to be on your team if they're going to be like that? So
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Deb, you want to jump in on the discussion and give us your view of where you were before the boot camp, where you are now, and where you want to go?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. The floor is yours.
oh, she just muted herself.
Yeah, you muted. Okay, there you go.
The boot camp was life savings a little bit drastic, but as far as our business goes, it was really the turning point that I guess gave us the boot to keep going forward. Now, I have to say that after the boot camp, I mean, I've continued to do the work, but I've been really lax as far as this group goes. I don't know. I felt like a college kid that graduated and I've been off to Paris or something. I don't know.
Right. Yes.
You know, just having fun and doing all of that. But I do watch the replay sometimes, and I have been keeping up with what you guys have been doing. But the boot camp opened my eyes to a lot of things about me. You know, I'm a pretty positive person, and I'm happy 99% of the time. But it helped me look at a couple of thought processes that I had, and not that they were negative, but they weren't the most productive, you know. So it's enabled me to look a little bit deeper into myself and what I want in my business and in my life, and I don't think I really would have had that without the boot camp.
Okay.
It's been good, and my goodness, the family that we've created in the boot camp. Robert and I just talked about this yesterday. This last event that we went to, this was my 7th event, and it was by far the absolute best event. And not because of the content of the event, because that in itself was good, but because of the family and the communication and all of the time that we spent together, which is what I always thought events should be like, but I never did it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you get a sense of what having a true team and camaraderie within the team feels like, because that's the way it was for the Las Vegas event for me, because I had already been through the first boot camp, and so we hung out with Alex and Erica and her team, and then all the other boot campers. We were just all one big group, and you know, just like this past one, we were, you know, hanging out at the bar. We were hanging out for dinner. We were meeting before. We were meeting after, and it just, I just kept saying, this is the best event ever. Yeah. Well, then I get to this one, and I'm like, no, this is the best event ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps when you got other people involved with you, that you know you're not alone on an island.
Yes.
You know, working online, you could definitely feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as for myself, I mean, the funny part is I was doing some of the things, like I was blogging every day, but not really knowing why I was blogging every day. It was just because it was one of the 8 commitments. And then when we got to the boot camp, and Erica said, "Now you only got to do it 3 times," and I went along with that, no problem, and I've been doing it ever since. But you know, it definitely set me on the right path on which way to go and why to do it. I mean, she made it very clear, you know, with the assignments, and you know, the fact that you know I got through them all and you know continue to do it. I mean, is a big plus for me because I can get distracted pretty easily, but I can also stay focused pretty good. And you know, by working, you know, the time that I put in, I mean, it paid off. You know, also, you know, with the part about exercising, losing over 30 pounds, which now I gotta get back to again because I've slacked off on that this week because I've been putting in so much time trying to do all the other things that are gonna get me up there to gold this month. So it, you know, it takes a lot, but you know, it just gives so much clarity to the hows and whys of what we're doing, and I just look forward to this next one as you know a next huge growing step to solidify the foundation that I have and make it you know to the next level, and you know we can all do it together again, and you know with the most recent graduates, you know, add them in, and you know we got a lot of power there.
and a lot of perspectives.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough trying to get on the panel now because you only have 9 spots, 10 spots. It's going to be a battle in the
We'll be
morning.
getting up at 3 a.m. when, like being on eBay. You know, one of the things that I still, even though I know it's not an issue, but a thing that I have to work through, is that there was so many good things that went on at the Sunday event about, you know, social media. It made me like, oh, I never thought about that social media platform as marketing. You know, I wasn't really interested in it before, but now I am, because, you know, they made it so, you know, oh, this is fun, and this is, you know, if you do this and this and this, you're going to get results, and you know, we even talked about it. Say what? I know.
One.
Yeah, pick one. Well, you know, and we even talked, Zen and I were walking out together, and I even said, I want to do it all. And she was like, yeah, me too. But, you know, you don't want to go home and get, you know, overwhelmed. And I said, yeah, you probably should pick one, or at the most two, but one's probably better. And it's really hard to do that. It's hard when there's so many options and you're so ready to start getting, you know, you want to get to gold, and you know, you start, you just want to do everything to get there, and you know you can't, because, you know, 2 days into it you're going to be like, I can't get this all done, and then you're overwhelmed and you're laying on the couch wondering what you should do next and doing nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of where I'm struggling right now, is I want to do Instagram, but then, you know, there's Periscope, there's Pinterest. You know, we talked with Anna about Pinterest yesterday, and, you know, there's just so much out there that, and then I think, oh, it wouldn't take that long to, like, you know, post something, you know, and then you like fake your way into it. You know, like, it wouldn't take that long to do 3 or 4 more things, and then you're back to your issue again.
Mm-hmm.
Could I say something about?
Well, I think.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Just if I could put on my coaching hat for just a second. You know,
Okay.
a lot of times we do that. And quit, Robert. But I know, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, Linda, and I don't think that you are, but this is what happens a lot of times when people are just starting out in business and they want to do everything. And they want to do everything because, not for the pure joy of doing it, but for the desperation of, oh my gosh, I've got to get my name out there everywhere because I need sales quickly. And it's a real fine line that we have to draw sometimes about those things, and about mindset and about intention. And really the thing that they say is pick one and get good at it and then move on to something else really is the most productive path. It doesn't seem that way, but it really is, because that's where you can be 100%. That's where you can be focused on the intention of helping other people, providing good content, and you know, just showing up. Because when you spread yourself too thin, no matter really what the intention is, when you spread yourself too thin, you're just too thin, because you can't really be of service anywhere that you are.
Right.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, it's a fine line to determine the intention of why we want to be everywhere, other than just the excitement of it. Because then when you get in that, and then, you know, like you said, you get overwhelmed because I don't know how to do this, I can't do that yet, and blah, blah, blah. You know, then it kind of muddies that intention of why we're there. So that's what I have to do for myself, is to say, okay, Deb, and you know this, Deb, pick just one thing and get really good at it. That's why I'm going to go with the Facebook stuff. I'm not really keen on the Facebook chat, but I see people are getting results, and maybe I need to move into it just a little bit. Maybe I need to reframe how I think about it. And then get really good at that, and then move on to some of the others. Because I'm like you know, Instagram, I like to take pictures, I like to create graphics, and it's like, well, that's just a natural. It's like, but I don't really know enough about it. So I would be right back where I was with blog and where I was with social media. I would be sitting on the sidelines to wait until I figured out exactly how to do it. I had enough content, and that could take another 2 years. You know.
Right.
So just pick the one and get really, really good at it. And let the excitement still be out there, and maybe even you're building content for that. not putting it out there yet.
Right.
That's my
Yeah, and I can just see, you know, well, when I was doing Instagram, really into it, I had 23 accounts, and I didn't have at the time, and I don't now either, but I didn't have a bot that would post. I don't really like bots that are like that engage for you and everything, but as far as auto posting, I think it's great as far as time management. But I didn't have that, so I was posting. I was logging out of one account, getting into another account, you know, and that kind of thing. And so I've really streamlined Instagram by I'm actually down to 8 accounts, and I may just concentrate on like 4 of them, and then slowly add in the other 4. And so I think for me the game plan is I think I want to try Facebook chat, but I'm not going to spend days on there Facebook chatting. And then I'm going to mark it on Instagram. I already got the 2 talk shows going, so I want to market those a little bit more. We've been laxed on marketing, you know, the show ahead of time, both shows ahead of time. So I want to do that, and that's just basically posting and tweeting. That doesn't take any time. And I'm not really going to concentrate on Periscope marketing, but I might get on there to draw some people from Periscope over to the talk show, like maybe a half hour ahead, just make an announcement. And then I gotta stop because I gotta see how much time that all takes, and get good at all of that before I go on. So I agree with you. It's just, you know, I keep thinking back on Sunday. I fall into this trap far too many times. I think about the excitement of Sunday and everything that was available, and then I'm like, but I want to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and you know, and then it gets to be, you know, 10 a.m. and I'm like, damn, I'm tired already. I haven't even started anything.
Well, it goes back to the you know, the idea of, you know, how do you eat an elephant, you know, piece by piece.
Yes.
You get hit with all this stuff at once. You try and eat the elephant all at once, and it's not going to work.
Right.
You know, you're just going to be, you know, futility there.
Yeah.
And 2, you know, you've got your learning curve. You know, sometimes when you stop and start and stop and start, you're not getting past that learning curve that gets you to doing what you do great.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many things that change too within a platform that you're using. You know, there's improvements, but unless you keep up on that and really just focus yourself on 1 or 2 maybe and get super good at it, you're going to feel that frustration and quit and then start over again, and you never get out of that learning curve. You know.
Yeah. Here's one thing too that I've learned over the years, and it was reiterated when I was doing some studying about target markets and stuff, because if you really look at the avatar that you create, and say, for example, we have Old Broads Reboot, which is one avatar. I have Coach Deb Bennett, which is a different avatar. And Steph has Pretty Simple Wellness, which is even a different avatar. And if you really think about who you're doing business for, and you treat each of those avatars as a business, that's actually 3 businesses. And you have to operate each of them differently. You have to maybe speak a little bit different language for each of them. You have to have, for me, as a graphic person, you have to have different style graphics for each one. So you, in essence, have 3 businesses there. So I know for us, and Robert and I kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, for us, we're having to just kind of step back and say, okay, for now, we're just going to go with Old Broads Reboot because we feel that that's a market that's really underserved right now. You know, so when you start looking at the different things that you do, if you really take it all the way to the core and the essence of what you're doing, each of them should have their own vision. Each of them should have their own mission. Each of them should have their own avatar. Each of them should have their own marketing plan. So in essence, every time you add a new avatar, you've actually added a new business. Right? So
absolutely.
You have a conglomerate going on.
I know. That's what happens to me so many times because I get so many, because I'm kind of an idea person and I get so many ideas and I'm a big picture person, so I don't just see it little bitty. I mean, I see it huge, the t-shirts and the books and the journals and the everything, So I
Mhm.
have to kind of rein myself in sometimes to just focus on the message,
Right.
the
Mhm.
message
Mhm.
that I want people to be able to act on.
Mhm.
And then, I've been reading in .com Secrets, Russell Brunson. What is my value ladder? Ladder, Ladder. He creates a value ladder. So what makes people take the first step, and then what encourages them to take the next step? And the final
Mhm.
step is the big purchase, that we want them to make. What's the
Mhm.
value that I'm adding on each of those steps that causes them to keep climbing with me?
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you
that's a
don't
good way to look at
necessarily
it.
think of that. You think of, building a relationship, but not in steps. You're like, build a relationship and then they buy.
right,
But, taking it in steps makes it more plannable, I guess, is the best
exactly,
word. Or
exactly,
Especially when you're focusing on what value can I bring at each step.
right.
That's
Mhm.
what's going to attract the people.
Right. Right, because the more, you want to, and the thing is, always give your best value. A lot of
Mhm.
people fall into the trap, well, I want to save my best for my book, I want to save my best for, that epic post that I can market everywhere, but always bring your best.
Mhm.
Now, the
Mhm.
best might not be as deep on a particular subject, and then the next
Mhm.
time maybe you go deeper, and maybe the next time you go
Mhm.
deeper and wider. Maybe you keep
Mhm.
talking about the same topic, but for yourself, when you first start out in something, for me, don't give me all of the details at first because I'll drown in them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'll drown in them. So just
Mhm.
at the first step, give me a little bit, enough to get my feet wet, but give me good information so I can act on it. And the next, take me just a little bit deeper, and then the next time maybe we snorkel with it. We're completely underwater. But don't give me the whole thing at one time. It doesn't happen to me. It's kind of like Ray said, how do you eat an elephant one step at a time?
Yeah.
You
Right.
guys will not want me on this panel all the time.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But
But
following up what Deb just said, I mean, it's true on showing getting step by step, because we
Mhm.
all get bombarded on a regular basis with people just throwing their private message at us with all their information and puking all over us, as we call it,
yeah.
Mhm.
not knowing a bit
Mhm.
about us to have us even think about it.
hmm hmm
I just find that totally absurd when they do that. Right? I usually tell them that. I said, I appreciate this, but you're doing it all wrong,
hmm
and I hope it works out for you, because it's
Mhm.
just you have to have that trust in there also, that you're going to be able to carry them to the point that they want to get to
hmm
Mhm.
and show them the way. So
Right.
I mean,
And
'cause
you
I
have
got
to
this one
start.
guy out in Colorado. He's been back and forth with me a little bit from here and there, but I found out he was in Empower and got out about a year ago because he had no support from his upline. He
Mm,
got involved in doing a co-op, and it just cost him money. And he wants to find somebody he thinks that can show him the way. And he happened to find me, and I started telling him about what we got going on, and just waiting for his
awesome.
answer now. But
Mhm.
there again, it's in proof that it does happen. I
Mm,
think when you get that going, it just solidifies your belief in everything, and you see you're going to get the fruits of your labor.
Right.
the fruits of your labor.
hmm
Um,
Gotta take those stickers off, though.
oh, I know. Yeah, those don't taste too good. Although it does add some fiber to your diet.
There
Um,
you go.
I was gonna say too, you got to start where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
If you're teaching on a certain subject and you're an expert at it, you may think this and this is just easy, and why would you even think it would work differently? Well, they're just beginning to learn about it, so you have to start
Mhm.
where they're at and feed them like Deb said, almost feed them like a little bird at first,
hmm
and then bigger bites, and then more complex, and just keep progressing from that. But so many people just want to go, here it is,
hmm
and then that's when people just get overwhelmed. And I really think that's what happened to me. Not that I'm that interested in doing solo ads, but in the 15K formula, where what's his name? can't think of it, but anyway, he was teaching about solo ads, and it's like a 4-hour thing, two videos that are two and a half hours long, and he just basically that's what he was saying. He was like, here it is, and it was like he was talking Chinese to me, and I don't speak Chinese, so and I watched it like 2 times. And I'm like, I don't understand. It's like he's going blah 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 blah, and so you got to really take into consideration who your audience is and what their level is, what they're learning, where on the learning curve are they?
Yeah, but if you watched Alex yesterday on the elite training, the 6-figure training or whatever they call it, they're pretty clear about what you do, what you do and how you do it. And I think, from my view, I mean, he started out just like us, and he just learned it along the way, and he's just letting us know how you get there.
Yeah.
Which is something that the leaders now are really getting involved with because of the Uniline, where everybody's together, and it's just not one team versus the other. Everybody's opening up, and it's going to benefit everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, many people got their eyes opened when Lazy Millionaires just came out of nowhere,
Right.
and and how are they doing it?
Yeah.
They're working as a well-oiled machine team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, they are. I love their whole concept. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why they popped 3 diamonds right away.
What was that, Deb?
I told Robert, I said, Kick-Ass Mastermind's going to do that too. Just wham, there we are.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, they're the first, as Ray just said, they're the first ones who broke 3 diamonds right away. And, and it just goes to show you that once you earn that $1 million ring, you're still working to get to that averaging $30K a month.
Right.
And so there's still work to be done, and I think that's why instead of focusing on the $1 million ring, they're focusing on average income, monthly income.
Right.
Because that's where the bills get paid. That's where your lifestyle comes from. That's why we get in this business. That's why we start this business. We may continue for different whys to help others and that kind of thing. But the reason you're in this to begin with is to provide your family with a nice lifestyle.
And another feature of that is going to be it's going to help the income disclosure page where people are going to see more people making money.
Yeah, the average income's going to go up.
Don't. Only 3% make it in this business. We're going to have a better picture than everybody else, and when we do so much for compliance and making sure we address the disclosure and let people know where it's at so they can see it. But right now, if you send people, I mean, I could see where they could be turned off and say no, I'm not going to do this. Nobody's making any money.
Right.
Even though we have all the success stories, people that have done it. It's just going to make it so much stronger for us to use as a tool.
Well, what they don't realize when they're looking at it, they because they haven't grown as a person, they see average income as what is it, like $100 a month or $300 a month, and they're like, really, do I want to put all this work in for $300 a month? And they start thinking about how much work it's going to take. When they're first of all, they shouldn't be thinking average. Secondly, they have to take into consideration that is everybody that's ever said yes to Empower Network. Yeah. Whether they were in it for 20 minutes and then said, nah, decided that's not for me, they have to count all those people. Yeah. So obviously the average is going to be low because they have, there's hundreds of people that they click on it and then 2 minutes later they decide it's not for them. Yeah. And they're still counted in that average income. So.
Alrighty then. We're coming up on the top of the hour, so we're going to close this down. For the time being,
as evidenced by Deb's giant red clock behind her.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
I'm glad I could provide that.
Thank you.
The down were different than mine, so I'm not sure where I'm at. We will be on hiatus for at least the next 10 weeks, so if you've been tuning in, I know you're gonna miss us, so but we will be back, bigger and stronger
Yeah.
next time. And until then, we're all gonna say goodbye. So, see ya.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, and we're gonna close this down. So, bye bye.